Many of you might not know this about me, but I am very far to the left. Not quite as far left as Ted Kaczynski, but I would still say I'm very far away from a liberal or a Democrat. That being said, I must preface this video by saying that I may share some of the same political views with the people I'm going to make fun of, but that doesn't mean I can't openly bash them in a video on YouTube. These people are what I consider the new breed of hippies, and I can't stand a single one of them. If you're older than 30 or 40, you probably think I'm talking about the hippies of the 60s and 70s who wore tie-dye and went to Grateful Dead concerts. But no, I'm talking about neo-hippies who also contribute nothing to society like the old ones, but unlike the first wave, they pretend to have an intellect that just isn't there. And there are three key positions which I vehemently disagree with them on. Their archaic view of pornography from a feminist perspective, their views on gun control, and their views on animal rights. Not only does the modern day hippie hate pornography, but they try to say that anyone who either watches it or makes it is a very bad person. It's this one-sided puritanical attitude that generalizes all pornography into a single category, where evil directors are exploiting women and people are being abused. Now, I don't like every brand of pornography out there, but just because I disagree with the porn industry on some things, doesn't mean I'm going to classify all of it as sexist. First of all, both men and women work in pornography. But these politically correct hippies seem to just focus on the latter group as being exploited. Is it because they think the women who work in the industry can't think their own thoughts and make their own decisions? I've heard many people on both the right and the left make arguments against porn, but what they don't realize is that they don't work in that field, so they aren't capable of knowing what it's actually like. The hippies who argue against porn on the basis of sexism are already assuming that women aren't in control of their own lives, even though they volunteered to work in it and can make their own decisions to quit whenever they please. Also, there are many sites on the internet where married couples and others videotape their own porn completely by themselves without involving producers or agents. Now, are these people being exploited as well? The whole view by these misinformed hippies is just an excuse to insert puritanical views on others, but unlike the right, who use the Bible as their excuse, these people are using their warped view on what sexism is to justify their views. The second issue that clearly separates me from the views of the modern day hippie is that of gun control. Now, I hate the term gun control because it's confusing to differentiate between if it means someone is against any civilian having a gun, or if it means someone just believes civilians should be restricted from having certain firearms. I am in the latter category. I don't believe the government has the right to tell you if you can't arm yourself, protect your home and crops if you're a farmer, or tell you can't hunt for your own food if you have a hunting license. I do believe, however, that John Q. Public shouldn't be able to have a stockpile of semi-automatic weapons in his basement, enough of which to raise a small army when Armageddon comes. So, in essence, I believe in moderate, common-sense gun restriction. Hippies, on the other hand, believe that we should all abandon any forms of violence on the planet, somehow, and live in harmony. While I do think that might be an achievable goal in 1 or 2,000 years, I think legislation to ban all forms of guns, combined with arguably the most corrupt, corporatist government in the world, might not be the greatest idea. The third issue I most strongly disagree with hippies on is that of animal rights. Now, I am strongly against animal testing for cosmetic products and any other torture used for the sake of science, but I just can't agree with the hippie view that we shouldn't eat any meat or drink any dairy. Speaking as a former vegan and vegetarian, I can honestly say that if you want to pursue that kind of lifestyle, it's your own choice and your own views. But please don't try to preach your gospel like another puritanical idiot. It's one thing to inform people of why you are a vegan or vegetarian, but it's quite another to act like anyone who disagrees with you is the face of absolute evil. If you're actually trying to get anyone to sympathize with your cause, you're doing quite the opposite by creating a them versus us attitude. Because of this arrogance, many people I talk to consider vegans to be a bunch of whiny crybabies who don't possess an ounce of maturity when it comes to dealing with those who disagree with them. And when many people come to see your movement's members as entirely irrational, it tends to hurt your cause completely. Anyway, that's all for my little rant. I made this video to simply show my frustration with this new brand of hippies that have infested themselves into left-wing politics. I feel that anytime one of them whines about one of these three issues, it's an advantage to the right in this country, who manipulate the population into thinking that anyone on the left side of the political spectrum is a downright freak. If you agree or disagree with this video, leave me a rational comment below. Thanks for watching and have a great day.